Security code 17383757. Bandini. In service of the beloved Captain Farouk. Analysis complete. Breakdown of communicator data complete. Scenes of interests found. Log commencing. System Hamura. Vessel the Red Moon. Coriolis Cycle 61. Segment the Gambler. Playback commencing.
You're at the space station at Hamurabi. The only one, actually. And you are having these post-traumatic stress memories of all the nightmarish things that was going down at the Lange cruiser Ghassali's last voyage. You still get chills, get sweaty, wake up in the night screaming. Even sometimes when you're awake, you see the beasts crawling out from the shadows. You hear in the comm radio, the communicators, the screams of all the people you left at the Ghassali's spaceship. Pig is in the chapel praying. They are one of the most reliable believers or subjects to the church. And as always, you have decided to have a sit, have a glass of wine in the cockpit, discussing your next move. You haven't talked so much since the last voyage of Ghassali's, but you know that tonight you have to talk about it. Tonight you have to face the horrors. Tonight you have to talk about what happened.
I take a long, long sip of my wine as I look over at Farouk. At this stage, how's their face?
It's still in a bad shape. There are blisters, stitches. Farouk is doing some plastic surgeon in the days, but he is released at night because there's no room in the medical bay because of all the wounded from the Ghassali's incident.
My hand keeps going up to my face, feeling the scars and the wrinkles that I'm not used to feeling. And I haven't even touched my wine. I basically just sit in silence and run my fingers across my face.
Well, you don't look too good, Farouk.
You know what? I have actually been thinking about keeping it this way.
You have? I was gonna say, Captain, it looks bad, but you could afford the gene treatments. It'll fix most of it up.
Yes, and well, I'm just used to, being a certain way and the way it makes people react to me. but that's kind of a part of who I used to be. Maybe I should leave that behind and keep it like this, or I don't know.
I shrug as I lean back in the chair, wincing a little as I rub my sides. I've mostly recovered from the excitement we had on the Gazalis. After all, I didn't get injured too badly, although I have needed some things for my throat. Almost suffocating to death in that tunnel or ventilation shaft. Wasn't pleasant. Still, I look to Farouk. You realize, of course, Captain, that we're going to have to deal with things. Our him walked us into a shitty situation.
Yeah, I know.
At this stage, has enough of my memory recovered from the cryosleep? Do I now fully remember the meeting with Sabetha?
Yeah, it's... Some of the memories are still quite fuzzy, and they are shattered, and you cannot put them in a good chronological order. But you remember the meeting with Sabetha, that she tries to negotiate another deal with you. And you also remember that you should meet up with a contact called Grabur in the Tawan system, but you never reached the Tawan system. And Grabur had some cargo for you. That was Al-Walim's. And you reckon that Al-Walim is furious, because the cargo was very important to him.
Oh, I reckon he's furious, but I don't give a damn. He's the one who set up a stupid meet with an unreliable contact. I looked to Farouk. See, that's the thing. You remember, Captain, we didn't know who we were meeting, which means he didn't. He was just relying on a vague contact to get him some cargo. And then what happens? We get mind screwed with, having no idea what's going on. She probably banked that she could just... I don't even know. Maybe the plan was when we got there and everything went according to plan, that she would implant some memories that we would completely do as she said. Sometimes those memory chip things, they need a lot of time to set in. I'm thinking maybe we didn't have time for that. What do you think? I don't know. I don't know why she had felt the need to mind screw us over.
No.
Maybe we'll never know.
Oh, I don't know. I honestly would love to get, 5 minutes with Sabetha alone. She got a few things to answer. It's just as everything is still so fuzzy, and it annoys me. It frightens me. I don't like being out of the loop. I can honestly say, Carlo, that I have no idea what's happening and what's gonna happen next.
Captain.
Maybe... Do you remember that fanatic on board that wanted us to stay with the Ghazali?
Yes, Captain, I do, actually. Crazy.
Maybe she was right.
A little sigh escapes me as I look over at Farouk. Now, come on, Captain. I get it. You're feeling bad. You're feeling bad because you wanted to save everyone. I told you you couldn't.
But...
You shouldn't feel bad that you couldn't do the impossible. You had to look out for yourself.
I should have tried harder.
You tried as hard as you could, Captain.
I don't think I did enough. All those people, they were trapped or in a really, really bad way, and we just left. we just sailed on out.
They had as much chance of getting out as you and I did. We didn't have any advantages. We woke up practically naked in a cryotube and had to fight our way out with pipes against Nakatra. Life sometimes isn't fair, Captain. I'm surprised you don't know that already.
I know. It's just... You know, I wake up almost every night in a cold sweat. If it's not to the growls of the Nakatra, it's to the screams of those dying when Gazalis disintegrates. And the question that echoes in my head is always, what could I had done to save more of them? What could I had done to help?
Captain, come on. You saved plenty. Hell, half of them are here on board this station with us now. I would be quite happy just to get our crew off, never mind all the bunch of people we had to have in the cargo hold and and the stuffed into the tubes.
Yeah.
It got very dangerous there. We could have been taken out. Not gonna lie. Quite happy that you diffused that situation in the hangar bay. I really wanted to just airlock all of them.
And if I haven't said it before, Carlo, I'm happy you were there. And Pig. I wouldn't have wanted anyone else on my side. We do make a good team.
I actually look a little awkward for a moment. And then I kind of half mutter, well, yeah. I know you think maybe me heartless, Captain, but you're my crew. I do my job. You hired me to look out for you. That's what I do. Even if sometimes you make it difficult. Especially Pig.
So what do we do now?
Okay. First of all, we recover. Maybe find a way of paying off some of the repairs we need to do. I'll leave that to you. Something small, something quick. Quick smuggle mission or something, I don't know. Then we think of how we're gonna deal with our him. Now, to be honest with you, I think he's gonna be furious with us. But then I'm thinking...
Oh, yes.
Fuck him.
Oh. Well, yeah. No. Oh. I owe him so much. I wouldn't have the Red Moon without him. And trust me, he is one scary man. Not just physically scary, but his tendrils reach far, far from Coriolis. But then again, there are places in this horizon where he can't reach.
I can assure you, Captain, there are. And trust me, I know, There's a slight pause as if I'm thinking of what to say next. I know, being from the Free League, we, travelled a lot, and I'm not too familiar with the inner workings of Coriolis. But trust me, our him is all talk and gusto. Yes, he's got a few hands and a few jars. Yes, he's got a few hired guns. Yes, he probably, if he catches us, would skin us alive, starting with me. But the thing is, he's not going to catch us, Captain. We just need to think of something. Stay out of his way for now, and we'll think of something. I don't know how Pig will react, though. I have a feeling Pig would really need to see the truth to finally come round to knowing that that guy is a crazy nut.
Yeah. I could probably find us a safe haven at Davaran. For you, well, you and your family. All of you.
I look a little taken aback. My family? Why would my family need protection?
Well, who knows where Al-Walim will turn his anger? And it would grieve me a lot if someone you care about would come to harm.
Oh, yes. No. Don't worry, Farouk. To be honest, I don't even know where some of my brothers are these days. They could be dead. It's fine with me. No. And if he does go looking for them, I can assure you he'd be biting off more than he can chew. So don't worry about that. Or rather, no, I actually do appreciate the concern. And at this I do sort of smile, like, I do, but trust me. My family will be fine.
Yeah, just remember that if need be, the offer stands, okay? My hand goes up to my face again, flickering a bit above the bandages and the scarring, and I empty my glass of wine in one big gulp. If you ever need it.
I nod. I smile. I change the subject. I tell you what, though. Probably gonna take a while, but I'm gonna find that ship. And we're gonna have a little talk with Sabata. You can cross me just fine. She did a good game. But, well, my family always used to say that it pays to have the last move, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And the talk continues, but you don't touch any more, how do you say, pressing subjects. You just talk through the night and you go to sleep.
System Ordana. Quadrant of the Pillars. Location: the crater. Coriolis Cycle 61. Year 536 of the Slumbering Prophet. Segment to judge. Playback commencing.
The prison. You've been here a couple of segments. It's a rough place, a hard place. There are not so many prisons in the Quadrant of the Pillars, but those who exist, they are the worst. They are the worst of the whole horizon, and you're in the Ordana system and in what's called the crater, a mine, a backstreet mine that you work all day down in the crater to dig for precious minerals for the consortium. It's hot, you don't get a lot of food, you don't get a lot of water, and you always have to look out for other prisoners. Hello, Dabarani, come over here. The men have taunted you since you came here. Somehow they figured out you have earlier worked as a courtesan, and they want a piece of the action.
Now, gentlemen, you know you could not afford my rates, so how about we save that to another time?
I'm not gonna pay you anything, Dabarani.
Now that's where we have a problem, don't we? Nothing in life is free, you know.
I will pay with my protection. Me and the boys here, we are getting thirsty and we are getting hungry of some Dabarani refreshment. Come here, don't play hard.
The thing is, I do believe that the ones I need protecting from is you at the moment. How are you gonna solve that?
When you're mine, you don't need protection from me anymore. You will be mine every morning, every day, and every night. Trust me, I will take good care of you, Dabarani. Come here now. They are closing in. There are 5 of them. And Pig is being stationed to do repairs on the water translator. And you haven't seen Carlo in a couple of days. He's been working in another district, driving the anti-grav loader, because he's the only one in this hellhole that has the skills for it.
I sigh and I try to find something to use as a club or a rock in my hand or something.
Yeah, with a dry throat and with a lot of red dust in your hair and your beard, you see a damaged pickaxe. It's been lying here at least for a decade. And you pick it up. Haha, you're gonna to put up a fight, Abarani. I like the fiery ones. Surround him, boys. Let's have it.
Well, you wanted to dance, and dance we shall. I sigh silently in my head, because I know how this will end, as fighting this way, at least, is not really my thing.
Carlo, you have been working a lot with the anti-grav loader, but you are being sent back to the barracks because they're pleased. They're pleased with your work. And on your way back to the barracks, you hear an upset voice. It's the voice of Farouk. And you know that these Ordanian men has troubled him and picked at him at times. But now you realize they mean business. They prey on the weak, and they have preyed on him when you was not around.
Yes, it's certainly been an interesting experience so far. I wouldn't say I've enjoyed being here, I certainly haven't. But I've survived. I've worried a little about Pig and Farouk. They wouldn't have had training for this like I have. Don't get me wrong, this is the first time it's really been real, but the training back in the day was intense. It had to be. Still, I got lucky getting that loader job. Save me if I'm having to bloody mine rocks. Again, a little bit of a smile and the ability to do people favors is always good around here. That's why I managed to get myself a tiny little shiv that I've been working on secretly, of course. No one watches you too closely when you're on the load. Still, it's that bloody Farouk. I'm going to very quickly turn the corner to just check. It is Farouk, isn't it?
Yes, and he's surrounded by 4 or maybe 5 big Ordanian swamp tribe.
This is...
Get him! And the biggest one is coming up behind him and grabbing his arms.
I look at this scene, seeing Farouk clearly in a lot of trouble. I can't just leave him. Although, god damn it, Farouk, I thought he was supposed to be good with a weapon. I'm going to start very carefully making my way towards the one furthest away. Let's see if I can get at least a quick sneak attack on that one.
They pushing you down on your knees, Farouk, and say, "You are going to swallow my sword, Dabarani." You can do your first attack, Carlo.
I am going to get the shiv out and very quickly dart forwards and bring it to this individual's neck. And when it's there, I'm going to loudly say, Now, boys. Not playing very fair, are we? No sudden moves. We wouldn't want to cut that ugly face of yours, would we?
You are really fast because of your training and because of all the adrenaline that's pumping through your veins. They didn't even notice when you're sneaking up on them, like the black cobra that you are. Let me go, Sinithian. I have no quarrel with you.
But I have a quarrel with you, friend.
We are just playing around here.
5 against 1? Come on, hardly fair. You, the talker. You want to go for, this Dabrani, do you? How about your friends back off and then you take care of him yourself? 1-on-1, since you're such a big tough guy.
I can take on the Dabrani.
I bet you can. Come on, boys, I say as I very pointedly jab that shiv just a little into the guy I'm holding's neck, just to spill a bit of blood.
Okay, I'll leave him be.
That's right, all of you back off. You can watch, and I'll slowly start removing that shiv from the guy I'm holding. And if they start backing off, I'll look to Farouk and say, here, catch.
You're catching it.
Yeah, and I stumble to my feet as well. Try to gain my posture again. Straighten out my clothes a bit.
Do you want to have it, Dabrani? Do you want to fight me?
I guess we're doing this, huh?
Yeah, we do. And if I win, you're mine. You're mine for all life.
Well, I'll pray to the icons. Yours will be a short one then. And I stand ready and just look at him defiantly.
Then let's go. You can roll initiative roll.
And I roll a mighty 1.
He lunged at you. Rah! You manage to dodge this huge Ordanian, and you're getting on his right side, and you can act if you do a quick action.
Yeah. Now Farouk, of course, when he fights, it's like dancing. So he swiftly just glides to the side when he lunges for me, and I will try to shiv him in the side.
Yeah, you go for the kidneys maybe?
And I miss.
You lunge at him with the dancer's grass, and he managed to just get out of the way from the shiv, and he's trying to do a quick punch in your face. But you manage to dodge it, going left. You can try to get under his arm and put the shiv in his armpit.
Oh, yes, I will try that. Oh!
You do a little scratch on his forearm, and then he backs off. And you circle around each other for a couple of seconds, then you roll another initiative.
And another 1.
He's coming at you, and he swings hard. A hammer punch. And he hits you with 1 success. You can try to parry, actually defend in close quarters. Either you dodge or either you...
Well, I think dodging is more my kind of fighting style.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And then you have to roll close quarters roll.
Yep. 1.
Yeah? You're getting on his right side, and if you want to do a quick action, you can you try to stab him in the throat.
Yeah. Yep, 1 success.
He realizes too late that you are on his right side, and the shiv is piercing his soft throat. And you're pressing it in, and blood is pouring out of the quite deep wound. He pushes him back and he's fall to his knees. His companions look at each other and you got lucky this time, Dabarani, and we will let you be. Cover over the body later. They are leaving, and the rapist is lying in the red sand, bleeding out.
Well, I guess I was his for the rest of his life, huh? Even though I won?
I suppose you were, Captain. I step over and look. Is he still kind of alive?
Yeah, he's blinking at you and he's trying to say something, but the stab must have damaged some of his cords.
I lean down. I'm actually curious to hear what the dying man has to say. What's that? Trying to say something, friend?
He was mine, Zenithian.
I smile and say, no. No. You were mine, friend. And I stand up and swiftly bring down my boot on his head.
You crush his skull with a heavy stomp. His skull cracks and it echoes through the crater.
Always good not to leave a loose end, Captain.
Yes. Thank you, Carlo. No one should have a courtesan for free. Not under any circumstance.
I happen to agree. You're right.
I will be. I wouldn't have been if you hadn't come along.
Hey, friends gotta look out for each other, right? Besides, I'm pretty sure at some point maybe I'll get jumped and maybe you'll dart in with some of those sword dancer skills that you know I never have seen yet. You keep saying how good you are. Come on, I was expecting more with the shiv.
I think we need to become better friends before I can show you my sword skills.
And I give you a bit of a punch on the shoulder.
Thanks. We're gonna get through this hellhole, aren't we?
Of course we are, Captain. This is an experience. I keep telling you, and Pig, don't worry. We're gonna get out of here. I think Pig might even have an idea, finally, now that I managed to get them thinking again. All we need is an opportunity, and the means to take it, okay?
Yeah.
Until then, we bide our time. Maybe try and get less of the locals angry, eh? It pays to actually be nice to them, believe it or not. Or, kill them.
Well, I usually try to be friendly, but these had something else in mind.
I looked down at the corpse. He thought he was a player in the game, but he was just a pawn. Now, we should probably get out of here before, the guards that don't really care, but care a little, come and crack our skulls in. Come on, let's get out of here.
Yeah. I turn this shiv over and present it to you again.
I definitely take it back and say you really need to get yourself one of these, Captain. It helps in prison situations. Basic training 101.
I'll work on it.
System Ordana. Quadrants of the pillars. Location unknown. Coriolis cycle 61. Year 537 of the slumbering prophet. Segment The Lady of Tears. Playback commencing.
You are running. You have left the crater. Pig's intervention worked. He's ahead, scouting and trying to light up the Red Moon, which is in lockdown at the docking bay. But you have to go another way. You have to crawl through the sewers. And now you're out. You stink. But you're alive, and you're on your way out of here. You have to run through the fields. That green hell that so many have died trying to cross. You heard rumors that there are Vulcan turrets, concealed Vulcan turrets in the grass. But another prisoner spilled his beans and told that there's a way if you go straight through the field. There's the blind spot for the turrets. The wind is caressing this sea of grass. The sun is starting to get up, and you hear that in the far distance the alarm goes off. You have to hurry.
It's going according to plan. I really have to give Pig credit, although at the same time I'm pretty sure that they didn't deactivate those goddamn security cameras, did they? Probably all going to be on footage. Probably send some people after us. That's fine, we'll just kill them. For now we just need to focus. I look at Farouk. Okay, Captain, you ready? You know where the blind spot is. We just need to just treat this like a little walk. Little friendly walk, you know.
Yes.
Don't panic.
I keep muttering prayers to the icons silently beneath my breath. Still, hand going up to the face from time to time, expecting to feel the scars and the bandages and stitches, but they're gone.
Keep low and get ready. This is the opportunity we needed. Been interesting being in prison, but I'm ready to leave. Just need to pass one death trap filled field and we'll be fine. We'll be fine. I always am.
You lead the way.
I give a nod, give a bit of a weird signal to Farouk, and lead the way forwards. Carefully and quickly making my way to where I know the blind spots are supposed to be.
You have done similar activities before. You trained for this. You know that every step counts. A misstep here, it will cost your life. You are going silent, light-footed through the sea of grass. You're doing well. Past the first checkpoint, you're getting past the second checkpoint. You're lying low when the drones are flying over your head. You do this for half an hour, moving maybe a meter or 2 meters every 5th minute. This is a game for Iron Will. You can roll a dexterity roll, both of you.
One success.
One success.
You realize that you have to quicken the pace. And Carlo, you see that the sun is coming up. It's getting lighter and lighter. You hear the birds starting to sing. The nightingales are singing the red dawn. But you also hear the alarm. You hear the drones. They are coming more often now. And as well, you can hear the grab bike. The guard grab bike. And they are here to kill you.
Well, part of me knows it would have been better for them not to get anywhere near us, but there was a reason I stole a Vulcan carbine from one of the guards. Alright, they want to come after me? I'll make it interesting for them. I yell out to Farouk. Farouk, head on! I'll buy us some time. Don't worry, I'll be fine. Just you head on. And I'll start past Farouk to raise my stolen guard's Vulcan carbine and try and start firing in the direction of some of those grav bikes I hear approaching.
I press on, sending worried glances over my shoulder, confident that if there's anyone that can handle the situation, it's Carlo, but still worried.
You can hear the short bursts of the Vulcan carbine echo in the valley that you are crossing right now. And you hear the grab bike stops, and you see that the birds are leaving their homes, flying away, scared of the new noise. For a second, a split of a second actually, you forget what you're doing, and you are stumbling out of the blind spot. And the turret is reacting in a microsecond. You have the laser sights pointed at your chest, and you realize this is the end. Carlo, if you do a successful dexterity roll, you can run and get Farouk out of the way.
It's a strange moment where I just look behind me and see him standing there like an idiot. God damn it, Captain! I have to do something. I dart forward to try and barrel him out of the way. And as I do so, I just pray to the icons. God damn it, we need to get out of this. If you've ever wanted something for me, icons, this is the time to show that you bloody care. I shall re-roll my dice and get 2 successes.
You lunge at the captain, who is frozen in fear, mumbling his last words to the icon, and then you push him out of the way, throwing the carbine at the direction of the Vulcan turret. It reacts on the new objective in the sensor and fires at the carbine, and you manage to drag Farouk out of the way, out of the grassland. You hear and you see smoke is rising from where the mine settled.
What happened?
You froze up like an idiot. It's all right. I got you.
I'm not used to this. So, are we okay?
I don't know. This is where Pig hopefully sweeps down in the Red Moon and saves us, because I'll be honest with you, Captain, I think we've got about 5 clicks before those guards are on us. But hey, at least you're still alive, eh?
Again?
Yes. Well, it's all right. You just owe me a couple of drinks. If, of course, we don't die right about now. And I look up, either expecting to see, hopefully, the Red Moon flying in to pick us up, or a bunch of guards ready to shoot us.
You see a shadow that is covering the sun, and you hear the familiar sound of the Red Moon turbine engines closing in. And the cargo bay opens.
I say into the comm, lifting Farouk up as I duck a little, the fire coming from those guns now getting closer from the guards. But I do say into the communicator, Pig, you son of a bitch. So it turns out you can fly sometimes.
Not as good as you bastard. Get up here, take over the steering, and get us the fuck out of here. I gotta see to the reactor. It's banged up a bit, but I think she'll fly through.
And I get us on the ship.
The cargo bay closes. Pig is leaving the scene, leaving the crater, and you're heading for the cockpit to take over the steering.
As I get to the cockpit, wiping the sweat from my brow, I get in my seat and fire us up. We're getting out of here. I turn to the captain and say, Captain, we are going to be followed, but don't worry, we'll just kill anyone who does. And we're going to get out of it. You see, what did I tell you? I told you we're gonna get out of this.
Yeah, I will never doubt you again, Carlo. Or Pig. Never.
I just nod, giving them both a tired look. Seeing that everything is under control here, I leave to head down to the reactor and collapse.
I slump back in my seat, exhausted. Still, surely now the worst is behind us. Right?
Just get us out of here. Please.
And I pull the throttle and start getting us the hell out of this hell.
And you leave the Ordana system. Hopefully for good.
System QR. Coriolis Space Station. Coriolis Cycle 61. Segment The Faceless One. Present date. First recording. Playback commencing.
You're walking down one of the shadier districts of the spire. A lot of red, yellow, purple, neon is mirroring your face. Holograms of cheap pleasures are inviting you to cheap establishments. People wanting to sell you proxy trips, au pour, and cheap wine. Flocking towards you as you move through the crowd. This is the worst of the worst in Coriolis, before the basement. As you're plowing your way through the crowd of poor peddlers and cheap courtesans, you see him. You haven't seen him in a couple of cycles. You thought he was dead, but now he stands before you in the middle of the crowd. His cane in black ebony, almost rooted in the street. His long white hair combed and his beard braided. You remember the old man from Davak, from the shuttle. You haven't seen him since. His dry and leathery hand waves at you. Ha! Isn't it the Dabarani Silvertongue I met a couple of years ago?
Counselor? I see the icons have been kind to you.
Yes.
It is an honor to meet you again. Your timing seems impeccable.
As always. We haven't talked and we haven't met since the day on the shuttle, but you know that I have been watching you, and my associates have been helping you rising through the ranks of the Davak. And they are here now. He nods in two different directions, and you can see typical Davak security forces with concealed weapons are moving in the crowds as well.
When I woke up this morning, I knew that something was off. Yes, what you want?
Just to talk. You should not live in this filthy establishment of yours. A coffin hotel for a Dabarani sword-dancing courtesan? I think not. We will escort you to a finer establishment.
Believe it or not, but I have actually grown accustomed to a different kind of lifestyle and don't need any escorting anywhere. how about we just find a cafe and sit and talk?
I'm afraid, Farouk, this isn't optional. He waves at a floatomobile that is driving up on your right side. Get in. We can talk in the car.
You know this will cause the others to wonder where I am.
It will. But we have important things to discuss, as you know.
Very well. If you feel that it's time to jeopardize everything I've worked for, then certainly I will get in.
You're getting into the vehicle. In the car sits two other men. You can see they have a similar look to a legionnaire, but are refined in some way. You can bet your life and they are security forces from the Davak. From the Snake Guard or the Scorpion Guard. The elite forces of the Dabaran houses. So there is no need to be, how do you say, talking riddles to each other. Let's be frank. Farouk, we are quite disappointed with you. We send you out on this mission for, is it a cycle ago?
Something like that.
We wanted results much earlier. We expected result half a cycle ago, at least. What's taking so long? We want to have information about which house this Carlo hails from. This is important for Dabaran.
You have been watching me, and you are quite aware that we ran into an unforeseen series of events. Yes, the stay at this crude and very overrated facility that we had to leave so hastily a couple of segments ago.
Your Ordanian adventures doesn't concern me. I want result. I saved your life after the Relic Rebellion. Without me, you should be floating in space.
That is your point of what happened back then. I'm not sure I have the same point of view.
Getting cocky. Captain Farouk. Tell me, without the Davak, what are you then? A courtesan without a house?
I am Farouk Al-Jabur, captain of the Red Moon, and that's it.
Everyone needs to pay the price. We know what you did at the Infoteca. You just crossed Al-Walim, one of the most renowned syndicate crime lords in the Cuba system. You robbed him of his courier ship. Is this a part of the bigger plan to get this Carlo character more vulnerable to tell what house he hails from? We know that it's one of the major houses. We know that this house could play a key role in the coming events that will shake the third horizon. Tell me, Farouk, why are you doing this? Are you still with us, or do we need to convince you? You know that we are very convincing.
I know that you are very convincing, and I can only assure you that even though the time has not been on my side, I have a very close connection to his sister. But she is a bit elusive at the moment, sadly. She has had her troubles of her own, and I haven't seen her in a while.
I can tell you something, and it's of the most important. There's a group of zealots here. We don't know where from they hail, but they here, and they are kidnapping people from your old, what do you call it, sect, cult?
We're a gathering more.
You courtesans. I will never understand your ways, but they are starting to abduct some from your group. And I think they are targeting Aisha as well.
I am afraid that is correct. And it is of great concern to me, of course. She is the link I have to Carlo. A closer link to Carlo, at least. As he has eluded my attempts of learning more about his background. It is of the uttermost importance that Aisha does not fall to harm.
You are convincing, but we need to gather more intel to see that this information that you are giving us are correct. We have to look up some loose threads, and we also have to see what's left of your little gathering. For the meanwhile, we will put you in a suite at the top of the spire. You should get all that you ask for. This will just take a couple of days.
And in the meantime, the rest of the crew on the Red Moon will start to look for me. Do we need that extra attention?
Coriolis is a dangerous place. You know this, and the crew of the Red Moon knows this. You could come up with a good story. Use your sword-swallowing techniques.
Very well. Can I at least send them a message?
Yes, you can do this when we enter the hotel. You're heading upwards with this vehicle, and you are in the top of the Coriolian spire. This is one of the most luxurious hotels that you've ever seen. You are placed in a suite, but you are under surveillance. During the days here, you are managing to send a message to the crew of the Red Moon. You grow impatient because you know that if you're going to stay here longer, something will happen to Aisha and maybe even Carlos. And you've grown fond of these two in some way. You have to admit that getting this group together, this gathering, this cult, you didn't plan it, but something has started to burn inside you. Something that is more important to you than the loyalty to the Dabaran, to the depth, to the Tavak.
I take it that there's servants here, catering to my every need.
The finest in all the QN system.
I, of course, try to befriend them and treat them with the uttermost respect. I will need a way out of here, and I'm praying that when time comes, they might be able to help me if I just show kindness and respect and signal a bit of distress, just slightly so.
You have your ways, as always, and you befriend the servants as well as the security guards here. The security guards here have probably a lower level of insight who you are, and as well they don't know your ways. So in a couple of days you have befriended almost all of the staff, and you have sent your message and you are planning your escape. You know that they rotate rounds around the second watch, and you know that the first Davak security men are the most friendly. They are also very tired when they are leaving the second watch. This is your way out. The head of security force is called Etheon. You have befriended him through chess play and reciting poems from the Dabaran library.
And a fair amount of flirting if he's, well...
He's trying to be, how do you say, professional about it, but you can see the last couple of days he's been very into you, very interested in what you have to say, and he is almost jiggling when you are teasing him in your sophisticated way. You and Ethan sitting, you are playing Kha, the board game of Dabaran. Oh, I'm tired, Saib.
Well, for being tired and unfocused, I've never seen anyone take to this game as quickly as you have.
But you beating me all the time. I remember when I did military service, we were forced to play Kha time after another. It should strengthen our strategic intellect, they said, but I really never get a hang of it. But you're good, Farouk. He smiles at you.
Well, I have played a few games before, and I enjoy it. As you say, it has a strategic level of play that's quite intriguing when you master it. So, are they working you hard? You get sleep, or?
I'm getting enough sleep, but I could really need some more hours. We're after this watch, we have to start the search for your group, which have more or less vanished in the ground or vanished into the walls of the Coriolis.
Well, that seems quite unfair. I mean, I'm a most willing prisoner, so... Well, prisoner. I shouldn't say. A most willing guest.
Yeah.
So I take it's not that exhausting, but still, the hours, they take the toll on you.
Yes, they do. But you should not see yourself as a prisoner, Farouk. You're here for your own security. You should not see yourself as a prisoner. Oh no. I cannot grasping, imprisonating you, or even stand guard. You are. These couple of days have been so inspiring to me. You have talked a lot about your adventure in the Ordanian system and all those different situations and tactics you have used through the years in the Davak. You are a most honorable member of the Davak. You should know that. Everyone thinks highly of you.
Yeah, yet I haven't been able to get this particular piece of information needed this time.
But you were... Sorry. You first, Saib.
I fill up his wine a bit.
I shouldn't have more. Just one.
You can't let me drink alone, of course. That's just rude, isn't it?
He smiles at you. I guess so.
We continue playing for a while, and I try to get him to drink more wine. I get a bit more friendly with him, touching his hands, rubbing his neck, hoping to take this to another room, maybe get him to sleep a little afterwards.
You can roll a manipulation roll. You are pouring him the stronger wine, but you're drinking the more lighter wine after a couple of glasses.
And of course, I have mastered the art of drinking without drinking as much. It looks more like I'm drinking than I am. And I fill my cup just a little, and I pour him a lot, of course. 3 success.
This is too easy. After a couple of glasses of wine, some rubbing in the neck, some sweet words in the ears, he's looking at the time, and yeah, we got half an hour. We can sneak into the other room. And you lead him into the other room, and you don't even have to start something. He's falling asleep on the pillows of this huge bed.
As soon as I think he's asleep, heavily asleep, I actually start to undress him, and I put on his clothes. Of course, one of the reasons I befriended him is that he's wearing approximately the same size as I am.
Yeah?
And approximately the same build and hair, of course.
Yeah. When you strap on his communicator, you see the last text messages that is flickering, that is still open. He haven't closed them. You can see that one of the last messages is that Carlo and the one called Pig is heading to the Ozone Square. They have a meeting at the Oporia. And it was sent half an hour ago, maybe.
Then I have a heading. I know where to go. I try to duck out of the building, avoiding people and cameras and everything, to silently slip out of the hotel.
You leave the hotel without leaving a trace. Another security guard nods at you when you're passing through. The communicator flickers. One of the informants of the Davak. Another group, unknown to us, has entered the Ozone Square, heavily armed. They are heading for the Oporia, same as Carlo and Pig.
I feel the urgency, and can I contact them on this communicator, or...
No.
I suspected as much. I will do my best to get to the Ozone Square as quickly as possible, and hopefully I will be there in time to warn my friends. Friends, yeah, they are my friends. Figure that. To warn them and aid them in whatever way possible.
Yeah. You are getting a shuttle and you are heading for the Emporia. You're almost rushing in, and when you enter, a heavy smoke, opal smoke, is catching your breath. You get dizzy for a while, and you see there's a lot of people in here. You recognize them. They are people from your little gathering, your group. Some of them smiles when they see you, but then you can hear heavy boots marching outside and entering the Emporia.
Warning. Unknown and hostile elements detected. Proceed with caution.
This is all the sounds and lights, and the pillows are soft, and there was a sense of urgency, wasn't there? I had to warn Pagan Farouk. No, I have to warn Aram? Is that his name? I think I know him. He's got a beautiful smile. But I need to focus. I need to tell Carlo about his sister and the trouble. But where are the others? I'm supposed to... Oh, yeah. They should probably kick me off the Red Moon. I don't think they will ever want to see me after this. But I need to help them. I need to warn them at least. Even if it means... Well... Where are they? I need to... I'm just gonna sit down. For a minute. Just a minute. This is Red Moon Roleplaying.
Farouk, you are in the Emporia. You are a bit hazy because of the Opor, but also that you are having actually some stress from the escape. You feel that you are surrounded by your friends from the past, but also friends from your circle here in Coriolis, the one that you led before all this. But then you realize that these faces, they are not your friends. They are strangers, and you feel alone. A young man in his early 20s look at you. Salam salam, Mal Saib. You are Farouk, right? He's a slick young man with oily black hair and olive skin. How are you feeling, Saib? Are you alright?
I'm looking for my friends. Have you seen them?
Yes, I have. Oh, Farouk. Come here. Sit at my table. We have tea and a pipe of opor. Yes?
it would be rude of me to decline, but I need to speak with my friends first.
Your friends are coming. No worries. They are coming. Sit. Have some tea.
I scan the premises. What? Are there people here that I recognize, or?
You, in this haze, in this stressful haze, you're not sure. You're feeling confused. Maybe that someone has slipped you something in the taxi, or maybe somewhere else. Your head is spinning. Yes, they are your friends, or are they strangers? Their faces, sometimes you recognize them, but sometimes they are not who you think. You don't know. Sit down. The great Farouk, sit down.
I turn to the man, the beautiful young man, and of course I smile, and without even realizing it, my hand has gone up to my face again, looking for the scar that's no longer there. Yes, maybe I should sit down, just to rest my legs a bit. I'm feeling a bit dizzy. I must have... It might be stress.
Yes, and the heat of the ozone square sometimes hit you harder than you think. Sit.
I let him lead me to his table.
Yeah. In this Oporia, there are low tables with quite big cushions in orange, red, and in purple. They are made of silk and other quite fine material. It feels so good sitting down. You're dizzy, you're hot. Here, friend, have some tea. You look exhausted.
I reach for the cup and I turn to him and I want to say something, but I can't really find the words. I turn my head towards the door I'm looking for something. For someone. Yeah.
And you see 4 quite big Coriolis guards entering at the far side of the Oporia. They are scanning the premises, and someone sees you and your young friend, and they're pointing at you and starting to move towards you, like in a dream. Sometimes it moves so fast, but sometimes it moves so slow.
I try to get up, to get out of the pillows and...
No, sit, friend. You are not in any need to
No.
Relax.
You're with them, aren't you? I need to get out of here. I need to... Where are my friends? They're in danger.
Speaking of your friends, Pig and Carlo, you are standing in the opening of the Oporia, and you notice that all of the guests are silent. They are looking at the guards. They are looking at Farouk, and you see Farouk, and he's moving in a very strange movement pattern. You think that he's been drugged, or maybe he's drugged himself. It's not uncommon for your captain.
Unbelievable. What the hell is Farouk doing here? Right, okay.
Althea has quite hastily grabbed some cushions, some pillows, and sitting in the far side, hiding from the guards. She's looking scared when she looks at the 4 guardsmen moving towards Al-Farouk.
Everything's happening very quickly. I quickly whip out my security tablet. Now, this is going to be tricky, but a place like this, if there was something like a fire or an emergency of some kind, there'd be security systems in place to sound alarms and get proper security down here right away. Is that not correct?
Yeah. It should go to the proper Coriolian guard.
Do I have a way of hacking into the sensor system and simply setting that alarm off? That's all I want to do.
Yeah, and you know that one of the most dangerous things here in Coriolis is electrical fire. It's taken very seriously.
Yeah, so I quickly give Pig a look at the guards, think I don't have much time, whip out my tablet and see if I can just hack into the system to trigger that alarm. I don't think that should be too tricky, but I don't have much time either.
Do you enter the Oporia or are you standing outside looking in?
I've stopped in the entranceway just so I can sort of see what's going on, but hopefully not be spotted. And I quickly mutter to Pig, Pig, we're gonna need a distraction, and then we're gonna get everyone the fuck out of here. You with me?
I look a bit panicked, and I start shuffling in my duffel bag that I'm carrying with me just to be ready to have my gun in case I need it. Yeah, sure, what you gonna do?
Just give me a second. I begin trying to hack the system.
Pig, you hear a voice behind you. Hey, you! I saw you at the port, at the docks. Can I have a word?
I turn around like, what do you want?
You see a typical Coriolian reporter from the bulletin. Can I have a word? I saw you at the port. I saw you at the security camps. Was it you?
No, you must have confused with someone else. Go away.
No, I never forget a face. She is moving towards you. Can I just have your statement? I saw what happened in the peddler's market.
I look super uncomfortable at this. I'm trying to think fast if I can use this to my benefit somehow. Well, you see, we were just down there and having some tea and stuff, and then these strange people who wanted to look like gods show up. Yeah.
You can roll an observation roll, Pig. And Carlo, you can roll your data gene roll as well. It's -2 because you're in the ozone square and the security system is quite hard.
In that case, I'll take away 2, which still gives me 1, 2, 3, 5 dice. Yes, 1 success.
And I'm rolling 7 dice. And that gives me 1 success as well.
Yeah? I will start with Carlo. You pass through the first firewall and you're in the cluster of the system, and you can see how you can turn on and turn off some security alarms. You can turn on the silent fire alarm, which is just a call to the guard station, or you can turn on the loud alarm so everyone will evacuate this spot.
Excellent. I look very briefly to Pig, talking to this woman, thinking, what on earth are they doing? Oh well, no time. I turn on the main noisy alarm.
Pig, you observe that one of the guardsmen that has entered the Oporia is looking at you and what you are up to. But he is hastily abrupted by the noisy, very high-pitched fire alarm. And soft computer voice.
Warning. This area has been compromised. Electrical fire. Evacuate.
And everybody's in the Oporia is starting to electrical fire! Run!
Bugger. I was just about to point towards the guard. Yeah, just like him. I started saying, but then the noise drowns out what I was saying, and I stepped to the side as people are starting to rush out.
You have to roll a dexterity roll, not to get overrun by the panicking guests.
I don't succeed at that.
Okay, you are being pushed out of the crowd, and the bulletin reporter is trying to leap out of the way, but she falls to the ground. And you can try another dexterity roll or a force roll. You can decide to push her out of the way, or she will be trampled down by the crowd. It's like 5 or 6 persons, but still.
No, I don't really care about her. I try to get out of the way myself.
Okay. Then you can roll a dexterity roll one more time. If you fail, you will fall on her, and then you will both be trampled.
Okay. Suddenly I roll 4 successes.
Whoa! If you want to, you can drag her with you and save her from fatal injuries.
I fall down on the floor at first, getting pushed by one of them. I fall just almost on her, but I grab her arm with 2 of my arms and I roll to the side. I'm not really sure what's happening. And I pull her up, and suddenly I just find myself standing there next to the wall, hugging it with her.
What's happening? And Farouk, you are being snapped out of your semi-awake condition. You realize this is fire alarm, electrical fire, and the young boy is pointing at you and saying, "Here, it's him! It's Farouk! Take him!" And you see 2 of the big Coriolis guards is trying to grab you.
I pushed the boy out of my way, and I tried to avoid them by basically running over him, or at least past him.
Yeah, all of your dancing lessons, you are quite familiar with this kind of maneuvers.
Yeah.
So a dexterity roll.
Yeah. I'm beginning to push past this boy, but I realize that he's a bit more sturdy than I thought, and I kind of just end up standing pressed up against him. I can smell perfume and maybe body odor somewhere there, but I snap out of it and try to push past him instead.
Take him!
No success.
You are too intoxicated to even remember the words of the icons, and you feel strong hands grabbing your clothes and your arms. And one of the Coriolian guard is pushing you down to the floor. And he's so heavy, and he's so strong.
Well, I know where it hurts, so I try to hit him where it hurts.
Okay.
Ooh, 3 success.
You get your right arm free from his tight grip, and then you do a quick punch in his neck. Was it 3 successes?
Yeah.
He's falling to his knees, and you hit some nerves that he seems that he cannot move his left side. You have paralyzed him with this punch.
Does he have a weapon on him?
Yeah, you can see a Vulcan carbine. Because you had so much successes, you can grab the Vulcan carbine quite easily.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to use that to force everyone to take a step back and let me through.
Yeah, you grab the carbine, and the other guard is pointing his carbine at you. You notice the boy doing something behind you, but you are too dizzy. You just have to focus on the other guard. The other 2 guards is also focused on you now. They haven't drawn their weapons, but they are looking at you.
So, are we gonna stand here all day in this noise, or could we be reasonable about this?
Let down the weapon, Captain.
I would say the same goes for you then. Put your weapon down and I will put down this.
Carlo, you can see this scene is playing out before you. You're sitting in one of the darker corners of the Oporia with your security tablet behind a quite big orange pillow.
Yes, I quickly put the tablet away. doing my best to avoid the crowds screaming. That's fine, that was the whole point. I then quickly draw my Vulcan carbine and want to get into a position behind some of these guards that are closer together and sort of get my gun ready and shout out, "Gentlemen, I think you'll find the fight isn't quite as you expected. Maybe it really is better if we all just part ways. After all, real security will be here very soon."
The other two guards spins around, and one of them is pointing a Vulcan pistol your way, and then the other one is pointing his Vulcan carbine in the way of Farouk. And this quadrant of the pillars stand down. You are pointing at each other's. Okay. You go now. Take Farouk.
Where's Altea? I start looking around. I don't say that, I'm just looking around, like, where's she gone? Did she start evacuating when everyone else did?
Roll observation roll.
No successes.
You have no clue. It was so much noise and so much action when the crowd were leaving the Oporia. Pig, you can roll an observation roll if you have seen her.
Yeah, I stand there pushed up against the wall with that reporter next to me. I see the people running out.
What's happening? She's looking into the Oporia. I know him. She's pointing at Carlo. He's with you, right? And why is he threatening?
I try to ignore her, because I couldn't care less what she is shouting about. I get 3 successes.
Yeah, you spotted Altea. She managed to disguise herself and flee with other guests of the Oporia, but you cannot see her now. She's out of the Oporia. You're sure of that?
My eyes sort of flicker between the guests as I disperse on the plaza, but I can't see her anymore, so I look in to see what the reporter was pointing at, and I feel my gun in my duffel bag. I'm not pulling it out just yet, but I'm looking in, and I see the scene of them holding their carbines pointed at each other.
Yeah. And you can see, because you rolled, was it 3 successes?
Yeah.
You can see that the young boy is moving up silently behind Farouk with a blade, and he is sneaking, and will soon do a lunge at Farouk, stabbing him in the back.
I draw my pistol and I fire.
It's a short distance, so it's a normal distance for you.
Yeah.
And you can do this before we roll initiative.
Okay. I sort of fiddle with the mechanisms on the pistol. I get kind of nervous as I look at it in my hand, and I see almost too late that the boy is starting to move really close to Farouk. So I pray, "Judge, be kind, guide my hand, save my friend from this heinous, sneaky attack." And I squeeze the trigger. I get 2 successes.
Kabam! You hit him in the chest, and a cloud of blood is spraying in the Oporia. And now everything is happening very fast. Was it 2 successes?
Yeah. The pistol shoots off a few blasts, and one of them hits his hand, so he's dropping his blade.
Ah! And everybody should roll initiative.
4.
Farouk, you can have a -1 because of your intoxication.
So 3 then.
5.
You get +1 from the pistol. I get 5 as well.
Then you have to decide who is going to act first.
I'd say Pig.
Okay, because I just started the fight, sort of.
Yes.
Okay. So, I try to think really fast. I see one of them is pointing their pistol at Carlo. So I turn on that one, and I open fire, a normal shot at that one. And that's one success.
Yeah. You hit him in the stomach. It penetrates the armor. He's falling down to one knee.
Yeah. I see that the shot is just hitting him briefly, so I keep my gun pointed at him, going to Overwatch with my other fast action.
Yeah. Then Carlo, it's you. You realize that Pig has fired a Vulcan shot that swished through your left ear and hit one of the Coriolis guards in the stomach.
By the icons. I use one action point to dive for the nearest cover I can find, which is a fast action. And from cover, I will then take a standard shot at the one who he didn't shoot, the one next to that guy. 3 successes. Point blank activates as well, which when I hit gives me another 6. So I actually have 4 6s. Let's go for 2 criticals. 4 and a 2.
You shoot him in the skull, and he didn't strapped on his helmet, right? So when he's trying to dodge it, you get under the armor, his visor, it splashes with blood. You can roll another.
That's a 2 and a 1.
When he is trying to fix his helmet, he's doing it worse and he's falling over. He will never get up again.
Excellent, I think to myself as I get ready for returning fire, but hopefully I've managed to find some cover behind some table.
Yeah, you're not so happy with your protection, but still it's better than standing out in the open. Then, Farouk, it's you. You hear that Vulcan shots are fired.
Well, I have stated it before and I can say it again. I am not a fighter, so I will drop to the floor.
If you want to have a better protection, you can spend all your action points just leaping over the bar and get behind it.
Yeah, I will. Try to make an agile leap over the bar and duck behind it.
Yeah, you can roll a dexterity roll, but you got a +1 because it's quite easy jumping over a bar when you're Farouk.
Yep. 1 mere success.
You smash a few glasses when you're leaping over, but still, you're in cover. One of the guards spins around, and you can have your extra shot, Pig.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm using my hand to stabilize the gun to be able to use this as well. I get 2 successes.
Great. You hit him in the chest as well.
Once again, I use this extra success to try and disarm him.
You succeed in that. He drops his Vulcan carbine to the floor, and he is running for cover, so he's in cover for the next round. The one that you hit in the stomach is trying to shoot at you, Pig.
Yeah.
But you're not in cover now because you haven't chosen that, so...
Yeah.
But he misses. A Vulcan salvo is flying over your head, and you now realize that the fire alarm is getting louder and louder, and your ears starting to ring, and you know that this is quite common, so if no one turns off the fire alarm, it's increasing in strength because it has to warn everybody around, because electrical fires are really dangerous at the Coriolis station.
Yeah.
Another one of the guards is trying to leap over the bar to get Farouk, but he slips and his armor is too heavy.
As glasses are flying and everyone is moving around, getting into cover quickly. I sort of flicker between everyone and then I stand to the side. I'm still kind of outside the Oporia, aren't I? Like in the door.
Yeah, you are outside shooting in with your pistol.
Yeah. So, I see the one that was trying to get over the bar, and he seems to be in a sort of, exposed position now because he's standing there. So I take cover as well to the side of the door. I lash out with my 2 left arms to quickly grab me to cover, and I use the other 2 rights to carefully aim and pull off an aimed shot towards the guard that is struggling with at the bar. I get 2 more successes. And I think I'll use the extra one for damage this time.
Yeah. You hit him in the knee with extra damage. And and you realize that this is the guard that doesn't have a carbine anymore because Farouk stole it. And he's is trying to get over the bar, but now you really made it harder for him. Carlo, you are in cover.
I am. I poke my head out ever so slightly. Who we got left? One guy crawling over a bar, one guy shot in the stomach. I guess he's gone for cover. Was there one more person who's just gone for cover?
Yeah, is looking at you. He's at the other side of the Oporia.
Does that mean he's quite far away from me now?
Yeah, but he's looking at you. But you have the initiative.
I notice this guy looking at me. I frown a little. I take an aimed shot straight at him. One success. Is he not in short range?
He is in short range.
Ah, so 1 success, and then I get another 6 as well. So 2 successes.
But I'm using darkness points. Your weapon clicks.
Jammed or out of ammo?
Jammed.
I hear the gun click, and swear as I see it's jammed.
Farouk, you're behind the bar. You hear a click from a Vulcan carbine. Then you hear a Zenithian swear. You realize that one of the guards is trying to crawl over the bar with a huge machete-like blade, and his eyes are almost burning. He is going for you, whatever the cost.
Are there any broken bottles or anything around here?
You have bottles of wine.
Is he close enough for me to hit him with a bottle or something?
You can throw it at him.
My hand wanders and I feel the cold glass of a bottle or a glass, or I don't know what it is, but I just pick it up and I throw at him because I really don't want him close to me, and then I start to like slither backwards across the floor to get away as far away from him as possible.
Yeah, you can roll a ranged combat for the bottle.
No success.
You throw a fine year of Zenithian wine right in the wall, and it splashes, and you're starting to crawl further into the Oporia. Do you do something else?
How deep is my confusion at this moment? Am I still in a haze, or is it starting to clear up?
Because of the adrenaline, you're starting to clear up a bit, because you have been in this kind of situation before, that you have taken too much drugs and some fighting has begun, so you are getting more into a fight state than a flight state.
I suspect that the Zenithian swearing was Carlo. I think I recognized his voice. I want to see if I can see Carlo or Pig to get some kind of overview of the situation.
You think that it's Pig standing in the doorway. shooting into the Eporia, but you don't know if they are shooting at you or if they are shooting at the Coriolian guard. You are still got so much confusion going on.
I wouldn't be surprised if they were both mad at me, but the situation is as it is, so I will try to find cover to get closer to where Pig is standing in the doorway.
Then you have to pass through the Coriolian guards. It's 3 of them.
I guess I'd take aim with a carbine.
In an Overwatch.
Yeah.
Carlo! The Coriolian guard aims at you. You can almost sense that he's smiling under his helmet. And then he pulls the trigger. And he is doing a long salvo with his Vulcan carbine. And he totally sprays the wall. But the icons must have putting some kind of blessing on you, because all of the Vulcan bullets is flying over your head, and it's like you had an aura of protection around you, and he's just emptying his clip, and you are unharmed. Chaslach mach! And he's starting to hit the carbine, and he's...
Thank the icons, I think to myself, as all I can do is blink.
The other guard that is lying on the floor, going after his gun, gets his gun and tries to shoot at Pig. But he misses. Pig's in a quite safe position as he stands. And the last one, going after Farouk, he is crawling with his big blade after Farouk. And, I will gut you like a pig! He tries to lunge at you with this machete. Then you can make your shot.
I will make my shot. And I miss.
You didn't count on the recoil, and you're shooting up in the roof, and the alarm is so high right now. It's a high pitch. You can not even hear when the Vulcan shots is going off. And you miss, but he's trying to gut you like a pig. 1 success. You can try to parry, but you have -2, and you will try to parry with a carbine.
No, no success.
Yeah, roll your armor against 3.
And no successes.
So then you take 3 hit points.
Well, if it had been in Farouk's nature to yell out, but that's just not how he does it. It's not worthy, is it? So he bites down tightly and groans as the blade cuts through his clothing and then into his arm.
Pig, next round, it's you.
Yeah. I see the guy disappearing over the bar that I just shot in the knee. And do I see Farouk there? You said he could see me.
Yeah, you saw a glimpse of his face scouting, then he ducked down again, and then the Coriolian guard threw himself behind the bar, and you hear some brawling or some melee combat is taking place behind the bar at the moment.
Then after just seeing that flash of Farouk, I suddenly get interrupted by the guy that I just down to the floor shooting back at me. I didn't expect that. I hear the bullets whistle by, and then I take aim to try to do another aim shot at him as he's lying on the floor there.
Okay.
I get 1 success, and I ask the judge to help me. We don't have time to stand around here. I'm always deafened by the alarm even being outside of the bar. Judge, guide my hand. Dang it, I don't get any more successes.
And you shoot him, and I'm using that darkness point, so he's avoid your success, so he's rolling under a table. Your shot is hitting the floor, and now all of you taking 1 hit point in damage because of the sound is so loud, and you are also getting 2 stress points. This is really annoying. You cannot hear a thing.
Damn it.
Carlo!
It's at this point I just pass a passing glance outside. Is there any sign of incoming security or emergency personnel? After all, this alarm surely must be bringing some attention by this point.
Yes, and you see the drones, the familiar Coriolian drones that is hovering outside the Oporia, and there's a lot of them. Guard drones, but as well as emergency personnel drones, the scanning the area.
What's gonna happen when they realize there's no electrical fire?
It could take some time because the electrical fire can be underneath the Oporia, in the ventilation shafts and so on and so forth. But they will probably turn off the alarm.
Well, I suppose that would be helpful. Unfortunately, I'd hoped men would be coming, but they're not going to come for a while. Never mind.
Because of electrical fire, it's really dangerous. They will not send out personnel. They send out drones instead.
Oh well. All I can do is quickly dive to cover, switch my weapon to the Vulcan cricket, and fire off a quick shot. Unfortunately, that will be -2 for the quick shot, and -1 because of the injury of this goddamn alarm. And as I pull the trigger, I pray to the icons, please, help me kill these bastards. No successes.
Farouk, the heavy Corolian guard is pressing you down, and you see his machete is rising, and he is going to try to hit you in the head or in the chest or somewhere it will really hurt.
Is he lying on top of me, or is he just...
Sitting on top of your stomach with his quite heavy build. You're from Dabaran. Do you have some wrestling skills?
Not the kind of wrestling that would help us in this situation, I think, but I will try to grab his arm. I'll grab the one he has here, the machete in, and try to wrangle it from him.
Yeah, you can try to disarm him with a punch in the elbow. Your adrenaline is pumping.
I get 1 success.
He tries to avoid your attack, but you're too quick. You give a hard but very quick punch in his elbow that drops the machete at his side. And you can do a quick action as well. He's quite stunned with your quite fast move.
I want to get out of his grip.
Yeah. Then you have to roll dexterity roll.
No.
He's pushing you down really hard.
It's at this point that the galaxy shifts ever so slightly as the Faceless One watches over us. One of the drones, a newer model than the others, finishes its scan. No electrical fire detected. Alarm deactivated. And the alarm finally silences.
Boom. One of the Coriolian guard is rolling a canister towards the exit. Pig?
Yeah.
You realize that it's some sort of shock grenade.
Oh shit. I try to take cover outside.
Yeah, you can roll a dexterity roll. And Carlo, you've been in this situation as well. You can roll a dexterity roll if you want to take cover.
Yes, I shall do that. I roll 3 successes.
And Pig?
Yep. I don't get a success.
You try, You're trying to get into cover, but you tangle with some cords from the electrical lighting in the outside plaza, and you are getting stunned by the shock grenade. And also, the shock grenade is pouring out a thick smoke.
Kimada, is this? And
You're slamming yourself against the wall, but you feel that your eyes is getting stitches, and you feel that your throat is it's so dry.
I try to get down on the floor and crawl myself out of there.
Yeah, and you're starting to crawl out in the ozone square. You are so relieved that the alarm just took off, but you just went from the fire into the frying pan. Carlo, you can hear something now when the alarm went off. Hasmarun! Hach! Namala! You cannot see them because the smoke is so thick, but you can hear them running inside the Oporia.
Who?
They have helmets on, and it's the Coriolis Guard's helmet, and you know this because of your background, that they can see through smoke with these visors.
I have a few seconds to think things through, and then quite simply, I don't think I'm going to be able to get out of this. I don't think any of us are going to get out of this fighting. I yell out, I surrender! I surrender! Totally surrender here! I get into some cover to make sure the people shooting at us can't shoot anymore, but I do lay down my gun as these guys start coming in, and I just put my arms up. And I say, we're all surrendering!
You hear a very hard blast, and something is happening in the far side of the Oporia, but then you hear boots on the ground, and Coriolis guards grabs Pig, and 2 other Coriolis guards grabs you, Carlo.
I let them take me. I smile, say, just so you know, they shot first.
Shut up! Farouk, you feel that the Coriolis guard sitting on top of you is being dragged away. You don't know by whom, but he's being dragged away. And a couple of seconds later, you don't even realize what's happening. 2 other Coriolis guard grabs you. You get up!
My arm, please!
Shut up! You are coming with us, now!
No reason to shout.
And you are being dragged through the ozone square. And you're being disarmed. You see, you are in a group with 5, 6, maybe 7 guards. But these guards look different. These guards, they have more beard. They don't have tattoos behind their visors. And they smell of alcohol, like a Coriolis guard should do. And you are being dragged through the ozone square, and you see civilians as well as legionnaires, because the ozone square is one of their spots here in Coriolis. They're looking at you, and they're eyeing you out. And one of the Coriolis guards says that you're lucky the legionnaires didn't get to you first. They would not have used shock grenades.
I raise an eyebrow, realizing it was them who threw that grenade. I simply remark, hey, we're surrendering, friend. Just poor people getting shot at. Really glad you got here in time.
He's giving you a slap in the face. I'm not your friend.
Can I see properly?
Barely. You can see a couple of meters in front of you. And you realize that first goes Carlo, then you, then after you is Farouk. The 6 or 7 Coriolis guard have is escorting you, 2 at each side, and the Coriolis guard captain is leading you to maybe some guard station or the arrest or even the airlock. You don't know.
I feel like I'm getting pushed along there, and I feel quite miserable. I hardly being able to see anything, but I think somewhere in all that noise I heard Farouk's voice, and that feels kind of good. I'm not even gonna bother try to talk now because these ones seems to mean business.
They are furious. You know that Coriolis guards is not the most sympathetic people, but these seems really angry on something more than usual. This was not a regular shootout. These happens all the time in the Ocean Square and in different parts in Coriolis, but they seem furious. And you are being pushed through the Ocean Square, and Carlo, you realize that you are being pushed towards guard station 37.
I know the game to play here, and the game to play is for now stop talking back.
And you are being pushed into the guard station and pushed into a quite big cell. You are being stripped of your guns and your technical equipment. You can keep your clothes. You realize that you have been arrested by the Coriolis guard, and it doesn't look pretty.
You have listened to an episode of Red Moon Roleplaying, where we play the campaign Mercy of the Icons for Coriolis, which is published by Free League. Gamemaster was Palmquist, and we were also joined by Jungevall. The music was created by AlphaZone and Sable Sun, and was used with permission from their label Cryochamber. Please check out cryochamber.bandcamp.com or their YouTube channel for more of their lovely dark ambient. We also used the official Coriolis soundtrack by Stars on a Black Sea. The sound effects come from the Sirenscape sci-fi player and was used with permission from Sirenscape. With its ease of use, you might want to try it for your gaming table. We would like to give massive thanks to our champions of the Red Moon: Martin Heuschober, Simon Cooper, David, Julia, Camilla, Bob Lange, Cameron, Antxon, Graham Barey, and Doug Thomson for their generous support. We would of course also like to thank all of our other patrons. Without your support, the show would not be possible. If you want to support our work, please check us out on Patreon. You can get access to bonus campaigns for Cult of Divinity Lost, Call of Cthulhu, and Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay there, as well as binge the rest of Last Voyage of the Ghazali and Emissary Lost. You can also get early and raw access to all of our recordings and hear your name read on the show as a champion of the Red Moon, as well as play some Cult with us. Most importantly, that support is what keeps the show going, so do check us out there. Thank you again for listening, and remember that the song leads us to the truth under a great winged shadow.